Our first speaker is Taylor Bussinger, who is the 2024 Teacher of the Year for the state of Kansas. Education is one of the pillars of a healthy, functioning society. President Donald Trump initiated the process to dismantle the U.S. Department of Education on March 20th. Initially, this order withheld $22.6 million from Kansas. That number could be much higher and will impact every one of the 500,000 public school children in the state. Taylor teaches 8th grade U.S. history at Prairie Trail Middle School. He's a coach and co-founder of the school's Diversity Club. Taylor's commitment to education, community engagement continues to inspire his students, his community, and his colleagues. Please welcome Taylor.
The late Kansas historian Ethan Schmidt once stated, "To be a historian is to grapple with the very core of what it is that makes us human. Our triumphs, our tragedies, our flaws, and our strengths are all laid bare by the scholarly study of history. And without this kind of inquiry, there is little hope for mankind." I think if we were all to put on our historian cap for just a second and honestly wrestle and reckon with history, you are here today because you see that the current agenda in this administration is degrading to the very concept of democracy. I think we are here because we want to be on the right side of history. As stated, my name is Taylor Bussinger, and I am a proud Kansas public educator. Hands off our public education. I am deeply concerned and saddened by our government's attack on public education. This past year, I had a very unique opportunity to travel our state and country to speak with students, teachers, district leaders, and legislators. I have learned that there is a deep disconnect between the GOP agenda and what is currently happening in our schools. Many of our teachers, administrators, and district leaders are frustrated, under intense stress, and overwhelmingly fear for our students' future. We are fearful because just a couple weeks ago, Linda McMahon, who has no experience in schools, none, halted $22.6 million that was earmarked for Kansas kids to address learning gaps in literacy programs. We are scared because further dismantling the Department of Ed will halt 10% of federal funds that will directly take away from our special ed students, Title I, and school lunch programs to ensure our kids do not go to class hungry. Some of our elected officials are not only doing nothing about this, they're doubling down and pushing for a school voucher program that will take your public tax dollars and give them to private tuition. We have 500,000 students in Kansas schools, and over 90% of them attend our public buildings. Furthermore, they have authorized ICE agents to enter our schools. In what universe is that pro-child? It's not. Hands off our public schools. This past year, I heard heart-wrenching questions from students like, "Is it safe for me to go to school?" Sad statements from educators like, "Ever since Trump took office, it has become exponentially more difficult to be a teacher. And I am scared to teach the real history and be slandered by a politician." Education leaders that say, "We shouldn't have to convince our state legislators that our kids are worth a quality public education." That's right. Young people should not be afraid to go to school, period. It should be a safe haven for all. Teachers should not be left feeling undersupported, underfunded, or the target of hate speech from politicians who have never stepped foot in schools to be a teacher themselves. Right. Our diverse history is a strength and worthy of learning all perspectives, not something you can erase. Books are for learning, not banning. And schools are for our young people, their curiosity, their inspiration, their future, not a battleground for partisan politics. That's right. History does us no good unless we are actively doing something with it. Or as my student put it last week, What we learn is who we become, and who we become is what we put in the world. So I ask you, what have we learned about our history, and what energy are we putting into the world for our young people? Our elected officials want us to fall in line and silence our dissent. But as a teacher, I will not be silent, because our students need us. True patriotism is speaking out against injustice, not giving in to a tyrant. And our young people should not carry the burden of poor decisions of our legislator. To put it bluntly, the Trump agenda and anybody who supports him is failing our Kansas kids and communities. Hands off our public education. So I ask you, what are we Kansans to do about it? Luckily, our state's history has some answers for us. While some may consider us conservative, boring, or flyover country, the Sunflower State has always been a radical trailblazer for progress. We have historically led this country on putting moral causes to social and political issues. We have consistently answered this call to do what is moral and just. Like when the Kansas-Nebraska Act opened our territory. We fought bleeding Kansas to ensure our roots were roots of abolition, of justice, and to be on the right side of history. Just as William Allen White stated, when anything is going to change in this country, it happens first in Kansas. From the fight to free soil, to the suffrage movement and women's rights, to being the first state to elect a female school superintendent in 1872, and of course, Brown v. Board of Education and the desegregation of our schools. To be a Kansan is to be radically empathetic, to care for our neighbors, all of our neighbors.
That's right.
To be enthusiastically passionate about the will of the people, and to never, ever bend to a bully. We are a beacon of belonging, believing in the dignity of others, all others. It is time for Kansans to rise up once again and be the epicenter of a new moral movement, the fight to save our schools and fully fund them. Our young people and educators depend upon your voice. We need you to call legislators to speak out against the people that are attacking us. We need your voice. We need your voice to help make our future bright for our kids because they depend upon it. We should not have to convince our elected officials that they are worth it. We need to stand up to the bullies and hands off our public education. Ad astra per astra. Thank you.